one of our listeners, Gracie Lou.
Gracie Lou.
Who's in town right now.
What's she like?
She's huge. She's like 330 pounds.
Wow.
I was totally shocked. Nah,
She's nice.
actually. We had a good time hanging out and stuff. So
And she met little Zed?
She met little Zed, flashed her a big smile.
Aw, she's worth it. Hey, Gracie Lou.
Yeah, so God, I hate not being able to talk about stuff, but can't. So anyway, let's move on.
There it is.
There it is.
Attention shoppers, it has top 5. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, so the cast top 5 this week is our top 5 highlights from season 2, episode 6, Secrets, all of which you just heard Glenn give up in the intro to our podcast.
Oh, there were more.
There were more, yeah.
So I gave this episode 4.25 brains out of 5. I did. How many brains would you give it?
Oh God, probably 4. Yeah, I like to do. Yeah, 4.
That's pretty good.
Well, I give it, just barely give it 4, but I give it 4. Yeah, I liked it.
Yep.
Okay, why don't you go first?
Okay, so starting at number 5, I gotta tell you, I'm loving the introductions. The little introductory bit before it launches into the Walking Dead intro.
Title sequence. Yeah, what was it? I can't remember.
This time it was all about chicken dinners.
Oh yeah.
It was chicken dinner.
When she broke the chicken's leg, that got me more than seeing a zombie eat somebody's head. It was like, oh.
Oh, I so loved it. I loved it because
Good,
they must have. The thing is, they must have broken the chicken's leg because they learned that just dumping chickens down into the barn and having the zombies lurch after chickens
Yeah.
were perfectly fine. Probably didn't work. So I was just imagining the zombies chasing the chickens around.
Yes, and they couldn't catch them.
And they couldn't catch them. So
I wanna see that.
Yes, exactly. In my head, that's exactly what I'm saying. So now they know that you have to break the
Go
legs.
down FEMA.
Oh, so.
Uncle Jed or whatever.
Yes, exactly. So I love it that you can't really figure out what the heck. Like I thought, oh, she's killing a chicken for dinner.
Right.
Well, it wasn't the humans dinner.
Yeah, I like that scene too.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 5 is I'm glad they're giving Dale more to do this episode. He had a few really good scenes. He confronted Herschel about having walkers in the barn as soon as Glenn told him. And there was a good conversation between them. And when Herschel mentioned that parents schizophrenics have an illness and you don't shoot them or whatever, sometimes it gets me thinking like maybe he's right. If my relatives were suddenly undead, maybe I'd want to protect them in case fear turned up.
Yep.
But then you think, well, some of them have like half a head and their intestines are hanging out and stuff.
So really, what is there to cure?
They're trying to eat me.
Yeah.
It's like
Really, Herschel?
at some point you have to.
This is your long-term
say
solution.
goodbye.
Sorry, dude.
So I don't really sympathize, but I can sort of understand it.
Yeah.
And back to Dale, I thought the scene with Lori was good when they talked about her being pregnant.
Oh, I know. I agree.
But I have more to say about that
Me
later
too.
in another thing. And then the scene with Shane was really intense between Shane and Dale.
Oh, it was
And
fantastic.
as soon as Dale said something happened with Andrea and Shane, he's like, oh, why don't you go away forever? That's my suggestion.
So are you leaving?
Yeah, and I thought, Dale, he comes off a little weak as far as how he's dealing with Andrea sometimes, but it's still a good scene.
Right.
And I like that, especially that we find out Shane doesn't like Dale. And also, it's like, yes, if you shouldn't be on Shane's bad side because we know he'll sacrifice people in order to save people he cares about.
Shoot your ass,
Yeah.
evidently. He lined up Rick, and Rick's his best friend. Just
Yeah.
saying.
He just barely didn't shoot Rick, but anybody else who knows.
My number 2 is Andrea becomes a gun-toting badass.
Finally.
Oh, it was fantastic. I love her getting kind of at the very end when they go into the suburban neighborhood and she's panicking and she's freaking out and then she gets into the zen of wasting Zeds. Oh, it was just
He was
wonderful.
like a gunslinger all of a sudden. Yeah.
I just go into that. She's amazing. I love it. I love the fact that she's nobody's drinking violet. Unlike a lot of the female characters, she's not a lot, but unlike some of the female characters, she's really strong. She takes control, and by golly, she wants to learn how to use guns. She's naturally talented.
Yep.
Good on her.
My number 4 was that the plotline of Lori's pregnancy is progressing. Because I think they've been dragging that out a bit, and it's kind of waiting to find out whether Rick's going to find out she's pregnant has been getting kind of boring. So
Yes.
I'm glad it's out in the open,
Yes.
and also just that Lori had a fair shame. Glad that's out in the open. It's kind of a relief, like especially when Rick said, is there anything else you have to tell me? And there was a long pause, and then she said it. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad she
Thank
said that.
God. Yes.
This crap anymore.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And I'm glad that Rick at least it seems like he kind of shrugged it off, which I think he kind of did in the comic too, because the times are exceptional, and it's just like
You thought it was
got
dead.
plenty of other things to worry about, and just let
Yeah,
go. She can see that he's not, or he can see that she's not in Shane anymore.
Right.
The Dale and Lori scene, I thought was really good. She's talking about how she has this deep reserve of joy to
Yeah,
live on,
yeah.
and
The
Carl,
past.
Carl's already going dry. And we
Right.
saw him being kind of callous about the chickies not having a mom, and that maybe that everything eats something else. So he's
Yeah.
turning kind of dark already, and she can see that, and so she's struggling with wondering whether it's worth bringing a baby into the world.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I know people who struggle with that in this world. And
Yeah.
now, so if you're in the zombie apocalypse, I can imagine it would be harder.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too.
Okay, let's see. I got one more thing. Okay, when Glenn gave Lori the prenatal vitamins, I was afraid he was going to try to convince her to have the baby, but instead he just said she shouldn't make the
Decision
choice
alone.
alone.
Yeah.
That was a totally reasonable thing to suggest.
Absolutely.
And then she goes and shovels him down anyway, which I also like because we need neurotic characters on the show who
Right.
do dumb things.
Oh, we have a plethora of writers.
So that's it.
Yeah, I love it. What was the general category of that
In
number?
general, was just that I'm glad they are kind of pushing forward the plot lines of Lori's pregnancy
Yeah.
and her affair with Shane, so that it doesn't seem they don't drag it out.
Along those lines, I'm going to redo my numbering system because my number 1, which I'm now calling number 3, is I'm glad that secrets are out. Phew, it was a great episode for that. Most of the secrets are out, not all the secrets are. There's still a couple secrets. Like Rick and Lori now know that Herschel wants them off the farm, and she asks him who else knows that, what time it is, and he says nobody. So there are some secrets, but I was tired of all the secrets. Man, oh my god, and I was actually talking to a coworker today. We're going through some contract negotiations at our water district, and everybody is very secretive about contract negotiations. And I said, in most cases, I think actually having things out in the open is a good thing, and communication is a good thing. And I think that unless it causes a panic, full disclosure should be policy.
Well, I know a few secrets you want to hear what happens the rest of the season.
Yes, you already know.
Okay, well,
Figure.
I used to work at Apple, and it was so secretive there.
Yeah.
You can, in fact, I probably shouldn't even be saying this right now. It would come from me.
Oh, I didn't
But
say
I
it.
wrote the manuals for some of the products, and sometimes I couldn't even get a hold of those products. I had a bag. I'm like, I can't write about it if I can't see it.
You're freaking kidding me.
Yeah, it was so hard.
Wow, that's pretty secretive. Yeah, okay. Well, in a computer company, you can kind of make a case for that, but in zombie apocalypse, I really do think the more information is better. And
Yes,
yeah,
I'd say that's
yeah.
pretty
So
nice.
I like that episode. So go ahead.
Okay, my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the dynamic between Shane and Andrea in this episode. I saw that Zombie Vic in the chat room a while back said that he didn't like that they hooked up, and neither did I. When that happened, I was like, he's a douche, and I want her to be with Dale like she's in the comic.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between not liking what the characters or what happens and being entertained by it. And I thought that he pushed her to her limits in the episode, and
He did.
and she was uncomfortable with it, but it ended up making her a better person in this post-apocalyptic world. And sometimes you need people to do that. Like well, there's instances in my life where I've been part of something and like I was in a play and the director was kind of a jerk, but the play was awesome.
You challenge
worked
her?
us really hard,
Right.
And I think Dale is being too supplicative to Andrea. Of course, she's gonna be attracted to somebody who challenges her like that.
Right.
So it makes sense. So they hooked up. I didn't like it because he's a douche, but it was totally believable and it made sense to me. And I'm glad they have stuff that's real human characteristics happening in the show.
Also, wasting Zed's kind of a turn.
Yeah, that too. They were like on a total high from what just happened.
Right. It's funny. I was looking down taking notes as they were driving away in the little subcompact car, little Ford Pinto or whatever it is he's driving. And they're driving along, and all of a sudden David said, "Did you see that?" And I said, "What?" And he said, "She touched his junk." I was like, "No, she did not." He's like, "Look, she touched his junk."
Yeah,
And,
they lingered on way too long.
Yeah,
I
they
don't see
did.
that.
Car horn.
Yeah, you can see he totally stuff his sock in there. But yeah, that was bad.
Sorry,
But
with a cold.
I like when she says, "You're real dick sometimes." And he goes, "Yeah, I acknowledge that."
And that's sweet.
And like you said, we finally get to see her getting into the gun, which I liked. But I wish she didn't look so self-satisfied about it. She had this look on her face like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm badass.
badass.
Yeah.
I want her to be more like serious, like
Yeah.
I'm doing what I need to do here. You know what I mean?
Right. Hopefully she's channeling the residual anger over, what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, your turn.
I like it. I have to say, and hey, Gracie, you'll probably agree with me. This was a Glenalicious episode.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he got so many moments. And I've been starved for my Glenn most of the season, so this had some great moments showing us that he can't keep a secret because he's too sweet, and it made me love him even more. The women completely befuddle him. I love that too. He has no idea what's going on. It's so cute, and he can whack a zombie with the best of them. He can improvise a weapon with a shelf in a pharmacy and take a zombie down. The Maggie interaction's hilarious.
He doesn't know how to deal with women, except occasionally he'll get one in that's good. Like when she's starting to get mad at him because he won't tell her what's on his list for the pharmacy, and he can't do this. He goes, "Can you call him, please?" Like he won't just get a total wimp all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's just stupid sometimes and says the wrong things.
Just love him. I love him. I love when Maggie comes over when he's got the binoculars looking at the barn, and he says to her, "You're trying to buy my silence with fruit," and she says, says no. There's also
Yeah.
so cute. Although David said that she should have been trying to bribe him with something else.
Yeah, we've got enough sex in the show already.
Also, he says to Lori, you need vitamins to talk about being pregnant. You need vitamins, medicine, a nice pillow.
Yeah, and he says you're too skinny, which she is.
She's very skinny. And I love when he says to Dale, and the little article intro of it, Dale's like, what's going on? Just say it. And he says, there's walkers in the barn and more pregnant. He just can't keep it any longer. It's so sweet. So,
And he said to Maggie at one point when they were on horseback going to the pharmacy, you didn't have to come, you could hate him from a distance. But one thing I like about, when you line all these lines down on the list, it sounds like it could easily be too quippy or something, but he knows how to deliver those lines very naturally,
Yeah.
so they're good.
that's
And he
even-
used to be an improv. I don't remember if he told us that, but I know I've read it.
Yes.
And,
In Chicago, right?
I think so, yeah. And he said that for the show, he's purposely trying to be understated and play very naturally, because he totally ham up those lines.
He didn't.
No.
He's great.
That's my number one too, by the way, just the whole Glenn, all of his parts in this. He's so good at being a naive, guileless kid, forced to keep everyone's secret and failing miserably. And he's also wise, and he makes that believable. And I liked that he told Lori, like I said before, that he should really make that decision with somebody else. He's just a good person.
Yes.
But I also like that they're having him say some dumb things sometimes, like telling Dale he's old, or what did he say in past about the periods lining up?
Right, exactly. That's why we're all kind of,
Yeah, because he's a kid, he's a young guy, so he's got to be immature sometimes. And good job, Stephen Yeun.
Love you, Stephen Yeun. Love you.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, the only thing I really like was seeing the shooting practice, which is they have that kind of thing a lot in the comics, so it's fun to see it in the show where they really out and do the shooting practice.
Yeah, I agree. We should write out the comic too. I mean, they have shooting practice in the comic too. Was that your number?
My number one was Glenn, so I'm
Okay.
done with my list.
All right, I got one more, and I thought there were two great zombie kill moments, and I do enjoy me a good zombie kill. One was in the pharmacy. Glenn hits the zombie with the shelf in the head. I love that. Granny Terrell, your god. The head is hanging halfway off, and the zombie's still coming forward. Even with the head coming halfway off, and so Glenn finishes the job. Brilliant. And I also love the point of view when in the suburbs, Andrea shoots the zombie, and you get a hole in the headshot. I'm a sucker for the hole in the headshot.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was real quick. It was
Yeah, I
a
love
quick,
that too.
quick flash, and there's a hole. There it
Oh,
is.
hole in the headshot.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, very good. Well, yeah, and the head hanging off the body was kind of new, and that was good. But what's interesting about that is he totally hacked at it, and it went down, and I think it started to come back, so he got it in the brain, but then he just kept hacking at it.
These people are not careful about body fluids.
Yeah, but what I was thinking is, Maggie just got done getting upset at him,
Right.
but here she is, and she was okay with it this time because I think she realized she almost died,
Right.
And so she's okay. She even called Glenn Walker bait, so she's now using the term Walker.
Yes, exactly. And at first,
she might come
at
around
first
a
she was telling me, no, I don't want to call them. They're not walkers. I call them that. I call them mom. And now she's like, no, they're fine. I guess walkers.
Okay, well, I have a top 5 from listener Sadie. Number 5, Andrea's surprise crotch grab. I could be the name of a band or something. Completely out of nowhere. I thought it was pretty awesome that Shane and Andrea got it on because hey, there aren't a lot of options here, and people who could die any minute would probably be getting it where they could. Still, I have to say, and that aren't really.
I know, right? That's why we're not.
It's by the way, it's a huge product placement. 4 and 3, Dale's confrontations with Herschel and Shane. I was relieved to see the spunky Dale from season 1 show up again in this episode. Rather than whispering about the barn walkers to Rick and letting him take over, Dale steps right up to Herschel himself. Love it. Also, it's nice to see that we aren't expected to just okey-dokey the fact that Dale saw Shane seriously considering offing Rick last season. I agree. I'm glad about that again.
Yep.
Although I wasn't sure last season whether Dale actually saw it, now we know it. Number 2, easily getting past a no longer interesting plotline by having Rick already assumed that Lori and Shane had a thing. Great, let's move on. I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
one.
couldn't agree more.
Glenn bringing Lori both abortion pills and prenatal vitamins. I still get chills thinking about it. There's been no other moment in the show that so poignantly portrays the quote, do we give up or do we go on feeling that it's at the very heart of the show. Yeah, vitamins or death pills.
You make the call.
That's right. Good list. Thanks for writing in. Okay, so move on.
Let's move on.
Okay, some news about Walking Dead. There's kind of much news this week. First thing, ratings for the week of November 7th through 13th. Walking Dead was the highest rated non-sports cable program with 6.12 million viewers. So still going strong.
Dang, that's wonderful. I thought the ratings went down. I'm glad
I
we
think they dipped the second episode, but they came back a little or something. Maybe they're pretty steady on.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. Norman Reedus interview on AMCTV.com. They asked, last year you told us you never used a crossbow before. You must be pretty comfortable with the thing by now. He says, I'm pretty well versed in crossbow but I'm still figuring out new ways to use it all the time. These days I can flip it around my back or use it to prop a shotgun up. I've gotten good at running and shooting it too. My latest accomplishment is that I can jump on a horse and put the reins onto the horn of the saddle and flip the crossbow over my back and load it and fire while riding. You can't not look cool with a crossbow.
You're Robin Hood.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, he's Mr. Cool.
He is Mr. Cool. He really is Mr. Cool.
Totally. Okay, then I didn't get to say what I thought of last week's episode at all, by the way, which is Daryl Heavy. You'll never know.
I will know because you'll tell me I'll demand it.
Moving on, they asked. No, I thought it was great. I don't know how to think about that. I'll maybe talk about it some other time. I can't remember what happened now. No, okay, well, the Merle, that was Merle, right?
Yeah, Merle hallucination.
Yeah, okay. This comes up in an email that I'm going to read, so I'll
Okay,
talk about that. Still, the Norman Reedus interview, they say the zombie actors must cringe when they have a scene with you. He says you have to dry fire on the set, and it's another way to crossbow with the tension let out. If it's a close range zombie kill like that episode where I roll over my back and shoot zombies on top of me, it's with a Nerf light crossbow.
Such a couple foreheads.
Bang. They say Daryl is a survivalist and an outdoor type of guy. Are you like that? He says I've been camping and stuff, but if you left me in the woods, I'd probably just curl up and cry until someone found me.
Aw.
Oh, I doubt it. I have to say living in Georgia while shooting Walking Dead. I love the country. I've been riding my motorcycle in my time off, not seeing anyone for hours. I love it here, and I wonder if he left the little SS stickers on his motorcycle as he rides around. Maybe he has
Here's a Daryl.
those. Then finally, did you give Lori Holden a hard time because her character shoots Daryl? He says, yeah, we had a big laugh about that. I was like, Lori, I can't believe you did that. She was like, I was really sad, I swear. She's become a good friend of mine. We've all been really tight on the show.
Watch out, she's a really good shot now.
She won't miss. You better stand up straight and walk.
No more shambling.
Next Sunday, AMC will air all previously aired season 2 episodes in a Walking Dead marathon.
Because it's the half season finale.
Yeah, so yeah, half season marathon starts at 2:30 and ends with that week's episode.
Oh, that's great.
I wanna do it.
That's great. Make yourself some zombie cocktails, sit yourself down, and then write to us and let us know anything. Or pause.
Yeah. So in an interview with Lori Holden, who is Andrea on DreadCentral.com, she says, what's so mortifying Andrea is that she's so eager and anxious that she finally has her opportunity to prove herself and everybody in the camp that she's able and a valuable part of the community, and she blows it on such a massive level. She almost kills someone that she cares about and ends up by all. That incident propels Andrea forward to try and be the best person she can be. So I guess that's how she's playing, like, oh, I just accidentally shot Daryl. They did it with a gun, so.
Good thing I just winged one skull.
But it's like if she's really good with a gun, she would kill him.
She did. She was very nice. She did bring up a book.
Was it Daniel Steele?
It wasn't that. It was. I actually wrote down the title of this. Well, ask our listeners. I couldn't find it. Or ask our.
Okay, I'll move on.
The case of the missing man, I think it was called.
Never heard of it.
Never mind.
They say you see in the episodes to come that Andrea becomes more of a sharpshooter and is really trying to make amends for not necessarily having it all together. Talking about her relationship with Shane, she says he gives her the school of tough love and it's the best thing that ever happened to her because everything changes. When there are attacks by walkers, she has a more zen approach to it and doesn't let her panic and fear take over. She really embraces her inner strength and goes into warrior mode. And they say, so where does that leave Dale? She says Dale loves Andrea, but he's kind and overprotective and sometimes it's too much. As Andrea said in the first episode of the season, he's not my husband, he's not my father. Andrea's a free agent. If she wants to spend time with somebody else, she has the right to do that. But it doesn't mean he's not going to be bent out of shape or upset by it. If he doesn't approve, there's not much Andrea can do about that.
She wants to get down, get funky on Sunday. Well, damn it, she can do that.
That's right. It's her prerogative. Oh yeah, this one's funny. This is from another interview with Lori. I thought you like this one. As someone who's interested in human rights, do you believe in the rights of zombies? She says, I do. The episode of the season where Andrea is with Daryl and they see the hanging zombie, for example. That was a man who did not want to turn into a monster, so he hung himself. He had the right to take his own life. This is a guy that didn't want to hurt other people. So yes, certain zombies have rights.
Oh, she's
They
presuming.
don't have rights. According to her, they have one right, and that's to die or kill themselves. That's
Okay,
it.
she's presuming that the guy who hung himself did it so he wouldn't turn into a zombie and hurt people.
Why do you think he did it?
Did he have a little
He had a
note?
poem.
Where's
Got bit. That's it. I don't remember.
Wow.
Okay, this is from. I hope this is interesting. It's from Brandon Pitero from FearNet.com. On what he's most proud of. He's the makeup guy who does all the effects and everything. And what he's most proud of this season, he says, overall, I think the look of the walkers in general have improved from last year. There was one shot in an episode last year where there was a close-up of a zombie and she turned towards the camera and she had a wound on her cheek. I remember that shot bothered me because she doesn't look like a zombie. She looks like a girl with a wound on her cheek. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that we suspend the audience's disbelief that we literally did find zombies in Georgia someplace and we wrangled them on set and we shot them. I think he means like camera shot. So we've accentuated a lot of makeups by exaggerating the cheekbones and elongating the chins. And we designed a whole bunch of new contact lenses. So every hero zombie you see in the show this year has been improved upon because of the stuff that I noticed when I watched the show. It's like contact lenses versus no contact lenses. When you have a scene and there's 80 or 100 walkers, there's no way you can put 100 sets of lenses. You put lenses on the first 20 or 25 in the background, you just tell them to keep your chins down. But every once in a while, you'll see a shot where one of them will get too close, and for me, it takes me right out of the show because I'm like, oh, that guy's eye should be dead. But I'm probably the only person who really notices. I don't think other people do. I'm constantly standing next to the monitor, and I've never been as diligent as I am on the show, watching the monitor next to the director, because the director sort of looks at me to make sure I'm keeping an eye on the zombie part rather than other stuff. And every take they're like, how's that? I'm like, well, there was one guy who was doing a little bit of Frankenstein. I gotta go. Yeah, go get him. So I'll walk out to the set and go, keep your arms down, do this. You're constantly finessing the background in every single shot because you have one extra who's doing something where his arms are swinging, it takes you right out of it.
Stupid extra.
Was that interesting? It was long. I should leave it in.
I have a question. Why do they call them hero zombies?
Well, I saw in a little making of thing that they make up some of the zombies with more intense makeup, prosthetics, and things like that, right?
No, this is not the question. I mean, that's,
Oh, no, I think that's probably a filming term where like the hero shot is the main person.
I see. So
yeah,
like,
they don't like coming out, and I'm here to save the day. They're the ones that are getting the food for their poor other zombies that count on them. They're right in front.
in their world, they are heroes. I prefer that.
So this last one has minor spoilers for the second half of season 2, but I actually think that most of you will be glad to hear this. If you're super spoiler averse, you should just go to the next section now. That's pretty minor. So Robert Kirkman said in episode 7 that there's going to be some loose ends to tie up, and then we finally find out what has happened with missing Sophia. He wouldn't reveal more than that, but he did say it's going to be huge. He also revealed that there's going to be a lot of new characters to arrive after the mid-season break, and they may be original to the show, they may be from the comic. I can't really say, but there are going to be some new faces coming up.
Huh.
So I was glad to hear that they're going to wrap up Sophia and not just leave it as we never saw her again.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, I can find her.
All right, ready to go move on? All right, let's take a little break. There's more to come. Stay with us. Okay, we're back, and it's time for Listener Moans, Groans, and Grunts. Okay, I'll go first. This is from Keith. He says, here's something I found called The Walking Dead Bizarro Version. Hope you enjoy. I meant to show you this beforehand. I'll put a URL on the WalkingDeadCast.com website, but it's basically all the main cast members, so they look like zombies. They're zombified.
Oh, fabulous.
Cool.
The photos of them are like drawings?
It's photos that are, I think, photoshopped or something.
Oh,
It looks really
sweet. If you haven't tried Zombie Booth yet, try it out.
Oh, yeah. Is that what the app is?
Yeah,
Zombie Booth?
Zombie Booth.
Zombie Nico.
Oh, yeah, he looks the story. I zombie one of my wedding pictures. This next email is from Jonathan. Zombies are known for eating brains or flesh or whatever, just humans in general. So explain this to me. Dale is unconscious and a zombie has found him and begun eating his boot. Come on. I like the transition of Merlin to zombie, but I'm not buying that a zombie would pass up the rest of bleeding Dale eat his boot. In fact, did Dale or Daryl?
No.
Yeah.
I don't quite buy that either, but it was so funny that I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
wakes up to the zombie gnawing on his boot. I love that. Zombies are too bright sometimes.
No.
That was the closest extremity.
Yeah, exactly.
Just went for it.
Tasty leather boot.
Yeah, I don't totally buy that either, but like I say, I'm glad they did it. This one is from somebody called Gracie Lou.
Gracie Lou.
Says, I may be the only one out there, but I'm glad Carol is part of the group. I think we need weak characters to help make the story believable. I'm not sure why people think the end of the world will just suddenly turn everyone instantly into a badass. I think people will call Carol and Andrea whiny because it's difficult to watch someone in the midst of such pain and depression. It's easier as a viewer to just cut off your feelings and not deal with the heavy emotions that these women are going through. Me, I want to feel those emotions.
Why people cheating me?
Well, it said Karen, but I changed it. Some people.
Quotation marks around it.
I completely agree that Karen is a callous woman. Gracie Lou, you're exactly right. No, I totally agree. People are harsh on anybody who's not a badass, and I want to act like real people.
Well, I'll be badasses. Certainly, I won't be a badass. But Carol, I mean, when Carol's daughter's missing, instead of going out with the group to look for her, like you think she would, she stayed back and tidied up the RV.
I assumed that she did that because she knew that she had no ability to protect herself and that she might just be a hindrance to the group.
Right.
Otherwise, yes, why not be out there?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think she just knows that she's best served as the cook. You know,
Yeah.
that's how she can help out the most.
Well, you know what? We all need cooks.
That's true. But I actually do think that if the zombie apocalypse did happen, it probably would just be badasses left after a while because survival of the fittest.
That's
Maybe.
right.
I don't know. You want to protect the cooks though.
You call out the chaff, right?
There's something interesting about a show like this because there's on one side there's the glee and the dark humor of seeing somebody's head just smashed in, and you know it's like there's a sadistic pleasure, right? But The Walking Dead in particular also deals with like real human emotion and characterization and all that. So it's like these two halves that are always quite good. And if you get too much into the glee part, then somebody reminds you like they should shoot her or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, that's a good way of explaining it for sure.
I guess I don't know.
I still love
Anyways,
you,
thoughts?
Just saying.
Just shoot Carol.
The second question regarding last week's episode. So the cover. The conversation between Rick and Shane was the most important part of the show in my opinion. We already know that these guys have conflicting leadership styles, and now we see why they don't trust each other as a leader. Rick thinks Shane was a reckless, impulsive person in high school. Shane thinks Rick was timid and underachiever in high school. They were telling stories from the past, really judging each other in the present. I think their friendship is officially over with that conversation. Interesting, John. Interesting. He has a really good point. I absolutely do believe they were judging each other's style. I don't know if their friendship is officially over.
Right.
But
I mean, that's the beginning of it.
yeah, I think also when you find out that Shane has been
Goodness present, Rick's ketchup.
I mean, that will be the official end of the friendship.
Yeah, I do wonder how he's gonna react to that because Shane's alive.
I
We're
do
gonna
worry
see
if I was going to react not well.
that. He might be like, so how was it?
Yeah, she's quite well now.
Good stuff, huh? Animal. He's English. Okay, next.
Okay, you, man.
This is from Matthew, also about last week. So he says, I like that the show can be super serious at one minute and then turn into something fun and exciting the next. The awkward dinner scene of no one talking broken up by Glenn with guitar, Herschel quickly killing that and then now you lighting it up again with a love note. The Rick and Shane Woodstock about high school was a fantastic example of this. I agree. I think the writing is getting better on the show.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
We so far it's every bit as great as it has been. I mean, I love it.
Yeah, the dialogue. Sometimes I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, this is approaching Breaking Bad levels of writing.
Right.
Which I'm happy about.
Yeah, I agree. Although with Breaking Bad, I always had the feeling the writers were way smarter than we are.
Yeah.
And they would lead us down a path and we would
Expect something.
The writing on that show is.
That's what I'm saying. I think Walking Dead in some instances is getting
Yeah,
near that.
God, if that's worth going, sign me up.
Okay, we got a bunch of calls. Should we play some?
No.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is from Chad.
Hi, my name's John. I'm listening to your podcast. I've been a huge fan of the show. I really like the comics. I'm not a huge zombie fan, but the show is sucking in. I love the hell out of it. And I've listened to your podcast. I've just listened to the first 16 episodes in the last 3 days. And I'm loving the hell out of it. And thank you very much. And here's my zombie time. I'll be back.
What did that sound like?
Thanks, Chad. It's like, you're right. You're the end of Harry Sally and Billy Crystal is sitting in the bed talking to Sally on the phone, and he's like, I'm just sitting here alone.
yeah,
It's not like Billy Crystal moaning.
So on the zombie keyboard.
Thanks, Chad. That's sweet.
Next is Mark.
Hi, guys. This is Mark calling from Skype overseas to comment that I haven't seen anything really talk about yet in regards to Chico Power episode. Did anyone else start to hear background of the Deliverance and Viewing Banjos when Daryl fell down that little waterfall or whatever it was when Hattie Darwin fell to the side, and all I think it was Burt Reynolds in the movie Deliverance. So that's it. All right, have a good time.
I especially, well, when he shot the squirrel and started eating it.
Yeah.
Necklace of ears.
Yeah, he made it his hillbilly bandage for his side. He ripped up a shirt and made it his
That was
hillbilly
like
bandage.
Rambo.
Yeah, or whatever. Mark, we completely agree. It was very Deliverance. You're not alone. In fact, somebody commented on our Facebook page that it reminded him of that, of Burt Reynolds in Deliverance.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you're on something,
Right,
Mark.
that was Mark too. No, just kidding. Okay, this is Oscar.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Honey Bowser, first time caller. Just want to give you a heads up on what Chupa Cabra is. It's basically a mythical creature from like South America, Mexico, similar to North America, I guess. A lot of people down there, Ecuador, Central America, Mexico, were finding their animals, mainly their goats, slaughtered and all the blood drawn, and they blamed a mythical creature that people have claimed to have seen. Do this late at night. There's tons of drawings you can find online. People have made. It's I don't know, I can Spanish background, on Spanish channel, Univision. There's little old ladies about 4'2", with saying they saw it happen before something goes blood. And it's around like 10, 15 years. There's actually an X-Files episode that mentioned it. Basically, it's like a Mexican Bigfoot except it's such goats and other animals. Anyway, keep up the good work and talk to you soon. Bye.
That long pause, I think he was deciding whether or not to give a zombie sound.
Oh.
Good work, and no.
Wow, I have to say, that was a great explanation.
Yeah.
You know what? The first time I ever heard
Mexican, what do you say? Mexican goats? Mexican Bigfoot.
Mexican Bigfoot, yeah.
They should call that the episode, Mexican Bigfoot.
or Yeti, whatever. Man, the first time I ever heard about a chupacabra was on the X-Files.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
that great X-Files episode? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very visceral explanation.
And I'm picturing 4'2" Mexican grandmothers watching goats be set right. Like,
The whole tradition. Okay, moving on. This is from Scott.
Hey, Jason here, this is Scott, and I'm from Ohio. I've got a friend named Joel Smith, hello Joel, who has a great theory on why the zombie should always walk slow. His theory is, trying to call himself well, is that the blood and everything would settle in the lower parts of the body because of gravity. He believes the heart is beating, therefore everything in the blood would settle in the legs, therefore making it harder for them to walk. And that's his theory. Okay, as far as my zombie noise, I'm also a little bit of a Star Trek fan, so I was wondering what a zombie dribble would sound like, and I believe it would be something along these lines. Hey guys, keep up the great work.
Very good.
That made me so happy. Oh, wow, a zombie triple. That guy had nerd up inside down here. Oh,
That was a great sound,
so cute.
The theory thing, I don't know. The blood pooling legs.
It's
Sure, why
sound
not?
theory. We'll allow it.
This one, the college did not identify him or herself, but I'll just let it go. And that's it.
I think the husband might be.
I know, or probably not. Excellent. Okay,
Yeah,
that creeped me out.
that's
Thank you. Okay, that's it for emails and stuff. Let's move on to comic talk. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers from things that happen in the comic and might therefore happen in the show, you should skip to the next chapter now.
Yep, skinhead folks.
So it was the same.
Okay, so did you see the link that I put on our Facebook page, by the way, to start off with, for TV Overmind? I put a link on our Facebook page for TV Overmind, and there's this guy, I want to say his name is like Kevin Ferguson or something. Please correct me if I'm wrong, folks. And it was great. He goes through, he sort of does a comparison of the comic versus, like, almost scene by scene, how it is.
Oh,
Really
okay,
good. Yeah,
cool. So we can use that to crib for the section.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I found a couple things that kind of play on. I actually did this before, so I swear to God. So the first thing, the first thing that Shane is changing the whole dynamic of the show from how it's going in the comic.
Yeah.
And in a great way. I'm really glad he's there. He's it's super interesting. I can't predict how it's going to go. I can't predict Shane and Andrea. But so it's really different than how it is in the comic. She's with Dale. And Shane threatening Dale and whole new dynamic.
Still notice.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, Dale is so onto him. He's onto him in the comic too, but he's really onto him in the TV show.
Yeah, because he's had more time to be more evil in front of Dale.
Right.
Yep.
And I also think that the housing development that they referred to, I think we mentioned it before, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Wiltshire Estates and if they go visit it.
Well, the thing, it would have to be a different scenario then because with Wiltshire States they thought, oh, here's a place where we can be safe,
Yeah.
and then they were surprised by the zombies being there. But they've already seen a bunch of zombies shambling around in this place.
If that's where they were, if they were in Wiltshire Estates. Wiltshire Estates is a gated community.
Oh well, I think that was the point of them mentioning there's a community, and that's where we know Wiltshire. Yeah, and they sent them out to there.
Yeah.
So
Wiltshire Estates was a gated community.
it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, they still could go there for a little while or
Yeah,
something. You know,
yeah.
maybe they think they cleared it out or something. I don't know. What else? Lori and Rick arguing over whether Carl needs a gun and ended up allowing him to have it was in the comic. And I think Lori said no, and Rick just overruled her in the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one it was pretty much Lori's decision.
Right. And by the way, doesn't Carl with the hat on look exactly like Carl in the comic?
It looks so good.
Yeah, I was looking at him in the show and thinking, that's what it looks like.
Totally, man.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it really is.
Love seeing that. He looks way better with it than Rick because it does look like a toy hat.
It's super cute, yeah.
When Maggie gets mad at Glenn for calling zombies walkers and asks what she calls them, she says mom and whatever. One of the names she says is Lacey, which in the comic was one of the sisters that was alive
It
for a
was.
while anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, Lacey gives them the tour of the farm. There's barn. There's okay, tour over. Yeah, kind of dude.
Rick kind of shrugs off Lori having had an affair. I don't know if it was ever explicit to him, but it was heavily hinted at and he just doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah,
The comic, I mean.
yeah. And you know, she didn't really even give it up. She just said Shane and I.
Oh,
That's all she says.
we
in
made
the
ice
video. No, I mean, is there anything I should know?
explicit.
Shane and I.
It's
Oh, well, you thought I did.
He knew what she meant by that. She made this simple like that. So they got that out. I'll never forget that in the scene where they show them getting on in like episode 2 of season 1. They just seem so into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, she's like, I just need to feel something. But she's like, woohoo!
I meant something really good.
So I don't know. Like I'm sure for the target practice. There's a lot of the comic.
Yeah.
And everything but shooting.
She is.
Anything else? Same. Find out Lori's pregnant.
Right, she handles pregnancy a little bit different in the comic. The comic, she never considers the
Abortion or anything?
No, it's not even.
They're God fearing or something.
You know, I think she thinks there's no way she can even pull that off. Here they've got conveniently, they've got pharmacy.
Right,
She can get
whatever they
more
need happens to be left on the shelf.
Right, exactly. In the comic, they don't have such a thing. So she just feels like, okay, I guess I'm gonna be pregnant. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Different. Shane and Andrea hooking up. That never happened.
Nope, because that would be gross.
I just wanted to feel something. And the whole Sophia storyline is, I really think the main reason why they put in Sophia storyline is they're like, we need to spend more time at the barn, possibly because of budget cuts.
Yeah.
And they need one set, for a lot of the season. And so they stuck in, how can we keep them there? Well, maybe they're all looking for this girl.
Yeah.
I think that'd be talking about.
Right.
But that's different from the comic. Anything else?
No.
Okay, good. Let's move on. Oh, wait a minute. There's a comment on this. Matthew. He says, I love the Merle vision / dream scene mostly because of this is about last week's episode, obviously, because of Michael Rooker, but I don't want this element to start becoming okay to do all the time, or a recurring theme, not just with Daryl, but others. The comic did a great job of people starting to lose sanity or coping with their situation, all Rick and the Lori phone, which some of you might know what that means, and Michonne randomly talking to no one we could see. I think that is an element of suspense that's fantastic in the comic. I just don't want this to become a series too scrutinized on unexplainable things, fantasy or not enough zombies. The show is about humans, relationships, fight or flight, and how they behave after an apocalypse as the dead rise. It shouldn't be judged on zombie kill count or fantasy. So yeah, that's the one thing about last week's episode. I did like that Merle was in it, and I wanted to see them together, and it made me like the actor even more. I just think he's really good, Michael Rooker, and I like their dynamic as brothers. But I do think that doesn't happen. You don't see a ghost of your brother walking around because you fell down a hill, and even if you hit really hard, you wouldn't see that. It's something they can get away with in a fictional TV show, and I guess I'm okay with it. But if I really stick to what I say about the show, which is that I want it to be real, except for the zombies, then that's not real.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's okay, but I love it. I'd rather just have Merle come back.
I think you'll get your wish.
You do?
I do. Oh yeah, I've seen lots of him. He's great.
So let's move on to next week on The Walking Dead.
So this is the end of the first half of the second season. So it's the finale of the first half of the second season. Are you following that?
Wait a minute. Is it? Yeah, it's not the last episode.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
And according to stuff I've been reading, Robert Kirkman says it's going to be a big old fun episode. And it's thank you, Robert Kirkman. We agree. The title is pretty much dead already. It's written by Scott M. Gimple and it's directed by Michelle McLaren. And as usual, they have crazy description, which is Herschel sets the deadline. All secrets are in the open. Glenn stands up for himself and Shane takes charge.
Well, Herschel sets the deadline. That's a good one. It's like you're gonna have to get out of here.
Yeah.
It's the deadline.
Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Yeah.
Till I'm.
So next week, and one quick reminder, you have the whole Walking Dead marathon. So now Thanksgiving will be over. It's Sunday. You're wanting something to do. Invite your friends over, have a big Walking Dead marathon, and then make our show.
Yeah, sounds good. Are you ready to
I am.
close it out? Okay. Okay, that's our show, episode 48. Thanks for listening, everybody. Totally appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
We're still number 1.
We're
We
number
trade
one,
off
maybe.
sometimes number 3, 2, 1. Today 1.
We're number one, maybe.
Sort of, sometimes. The cool, edgy interlude music you heard after the news section was from listener Jaden Walker. He calls himself an autistic entomologist.
How interesting that he's a walker.
And he's a musician and a walker. And you can find more from him at eternalmusic.com or on Twitter at @theeternal. And thanks to him for letting us use it. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And speaking of music, it's been a while since I mentioned that our good friend Nathan Melstead wrote the intro music for our podcast just for us. We've been using it since the very beginning. And he also did this music that you're hearing underneath us right now. It's called Music for Me. It's on iTunes. And if you like his sound, he also has an EP on there called Supreme Fiction that is really good. So
Thanks,
check that
Nathan.
out.
Also a very nice fellow.
Yeah, very nice fellow. But if you'd like to give us a call, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
Check out our website and leave comments at walkingdeadcast.com.
We're also on Twitter at Jason Curran and on Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast.
Okay, that's our show.
Thanks for listening. Don't get bit. Or will
Get your boots not off. Okay.
I believe it would be something along these lines.
it. You can't. Not the Welcome to Walking Dead Cast, a podcast dedicated to the show The Walking Dead.
I have a feeling that song will continue to be appropriate.